3.5, 4 years ago when he was running for president, I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that he was ignorant.
It was challenging for me to go to work for a man who is pretty undisciplined, doesn't like to read.
There was just an unwillingness on the part of the president, I think, to do systematic learning.
I thought that he would take his oath of office seriously, that he would be committed to advancing this country. He absolutely has an issue with the truth, and sometimes he battles with reality.
I think we need to look harder at who we elect. What is their character like? What are their ethics? Are they willing, if they're elected, to represent all of their constituents, not just the base?
Is the president lying?
Yes, he is. And it's not the first time either.
When you're actually expecting him sitting behind the Resolute desk to be presidential, and he makes statements like that, and he means them, it gives you a great deal of pause.
There is a sense that if you're not there, you holding things together, it would be worse.
I felt I needed to leave government, share what I was seeing and how similar it looked to other authoritarian states, and ultimately do everything that I could to prevent the situation from getting worse.
And I'd have to say to him, well, Mr. President, I understand what you want to do, but you can't do it that way. It violates the law. It violates a treaty.
It was really more about his personal agenda than really the agenda that the task force had at hand, which was how are we going to save and protect Americans?
I am frustrated at a lack of leadership. I am frustrated at a lack of urgency. I'm frustrated at our inability to be heard as scientists.
I think he is responsible for the deaths of Americans.
The biggest fear I have is that mistakes are being made that will have grave consequences for the national security of the United States.
We have to have good order and discipline. It's the backbone of what we do.
This is a White House that hasn't prioritized the safety of Americans. He's campaigning as a law and order president, but he is the lawlessness and disorder president.
The retired Marine general writing in The Atlantic, Donald Trump is the first president in my lifetime who does not try to unite the American people, does not even pretend to try. Instead, he tries to divide us.
Charlottesville was more than a blip. Starting with Secretary Kelly, then Secretary Nielsen, Secretary McLean, all of them went to the White House and said, this is important, we need to address this. And for a variety of reasons, we were rebuffed.
My ultimate decision to leave started with Charlottesville.
I do think that there are people that hold a white nationalist viewpoint and that is actually impacting those policies.
If we've learned one lesson about Donald Trump, it's that he thinks if something aligns with his personal interests, it is good. If it doesn't align with his personal interests, it is bad.
And at the end of the day, the only thing he cares about is himself. He has absolutely no attachments to anybody. And this is the reason why he can't express any empathy.
I don't think he's fit for office. I don't think he has the competence to carry out the job. There really isn't any guiding principle that I was able to discern other than what's good for Donald Trump's reelection.
I may disagree with Joe Biden on a lot of policies, but where I don't disagree is that he's a genuine man of character.
How do you think history will remember Donald Trump?
I hope it will remember him as a one-term president.
It's so devastating how incompetent he is, and he cannot continue to be our president. Too many lives have already been lost.